I'm Todd Gamboa, president of Building Trust LLC, a building science and sales consulting company. I train realtors all over the country, and one of the topics that always comes up in our trainings is HVAC systems. Now, HVAC, as we all know, stands for heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Yet when most people think about HVAC, they typically go right to the furnace. Well, one thing you should know is that furnaces have changed greatly over the last 30 to 40 years. The typical standard was about a 78% efficient furnace back in, say, the 70s, 80s, or 90s. But as technology has changed, we're finding that we're building furnaces more efficiently. Not only are they more efficient, as in 94 or 95 or 96% efficient, but they're safer and healthier as we've sealed up the combustion gases from the flues. Another thing we think about when we think about combustion gases is water heaters and air conditioners and other mechanical equipment. Now, when you think about HVAC and heating and air conditioning, one thing that has changed over the last decade has been air conditioners. Historically, air conditioners were all oversized, and they were built bigger than they needed to be, and they drew more power. That high utility bill in the summer was due to the fact that many air conditioners were oversized because the heating contractors didn't understand the insulation or the windows or the other properties of the home that were able to reduce the size of the cooling. Therefore, the units were oversized. But as we get farther into HVAC, we learn about other components of the house. In my industry, building science, we learn about all the variables that make a house comfortable or uncomfortable. Why the basement is 15 degrees colder than the second level master. And a lot of that is due to airflow. Airflow not just through the ducts, but through the building assembly itself. We've done a much better job over the years insulating our homes and making them tighter and tighter. But we have an expression that we use in building science saying, build it tight and ventilate it right. We've solved a lot of the problems with the leaky doors and the windows. We still have issues with crawl spaces, which we may address in another video, but we've learned to build houses tighter and better. But we still need to worry about things like ventilation. And the reality with ventilation, that's what's hurting people. Ventilation wasn't actually part of the code until the last two code cycles. We're building furnaces tighter and tighter, so we don't have to worry about carbon monoxide, but we're still having issues with water heaters. Many Americans have homes which have atmospheric vented water heaters versus power vented, which is you see on the slide. Power vented ensures that when the water heater comes on, the vent gases or the exhaust is ventilated out of the home with a fan or a blower. We also have sealed combustion water heaters, things like tankless units. When we put utilities and mechanical devices like water heaters and furnaces in crawl spaces, we have to be aware of the pressure differences between the crawl space and the house. We also run into problems as we have leaky ductwork. Historically, we use duct tape on houses, and that's no longer acceptable by code. We know that it doesn't work, and we know that the ducts are leaky. We'll find that if you walk into a resale home. Look in a crawl space or a mechanical room. You'll see the ducts are leaking, and the air is not getting to its destination. That causes huge problems with comfort levels in houses. So we've learned to fix those problems. We've also learned about other things like stop putting vents and registers and heat runs up against foundation walls. We've stopped putting heat runs and wall assemblies on the exterior of the home. It doesn't make sense when you can't put insulation behind the duct to stick a duct in an exterior wall. We've learned that that's no longer acceptable, and most times it's not even allowed by code. So we've done a much better job when it comes to ducting. We put the stuff inside the house and we seal it with mastic because airflow is huge when it comes to comfort, temperatures, and performance. We've also found that when we put ducts in mechanical rooms or maybe in an attic, we use insulated ductwork. And we've done something differently in the fact we've added transfer grills above doorways. We're trying to relieve that heat ceiling that's high in the floor up against the ceiling and reduce the pressures in the room. In older homes, you'll find that that pressure was relieved under the doors, and that's why there are lines in the carpet. So we've learned about building science. We've learned how to make HVAC systems better, but we haven't tackled all the ventilation. In order to make the house comfortable and get the air conditioner to work, we have to ventilate that heat that's up in the attic. In the summertime, that can be 150 to 170 degrees. So we're using insulated attic fan. We're also ventilating the house properly. As I said, build it tight and ventilate it right. So we're adding bath fans and other fans in the laundry rooms that we run continuously to ensure that we're ventilating any harmful gases inside the house. The reality is homes have changed. We're building them more comfortable than ever before, and we're building them healthier than ever before. And the key is the changes in HVAC. So when you're thinking about HVAC, remember, it's not just the heating and air conditioning, it's the ventilating. It's about better quality, better comfort, lower utility bills, and healthier homes. I'm Todd Gamboa, and thanks for watching.
you.